Hey, what's up guys? I've got me a new camera on my motorcycle. Let's try it out. I also want to talk about motorcycle gas today. Not just any kind of gas. What gas is best for your motorcycle? What gas is best for your motorcycle? So I took a look at my 2023 Ninja 650 owner's guide, and it said that I need to have at least 83 octane and no more than 10% ethanol on my gas. Wondering what kind of gas you guys use. I've been talking to some folks at the power sports store, talking to some other motorcycle riders. Quite a few people use non-ethanol gas in their motorcycles. So it got me to thinking, you know, what the heck is going on with all this different kind of gas that we have? You know, should I use ethanol gas? Should I use non-ethanol gas? I don't know. So I've started doing some research, and I started learning a good bit about the pluses and minuses of ethanol and non-ethanol gas for your motorcycle. I know for like small engines, like your lawnmower engine, or any small engines you have, you definitely don't want to use ethanol in those. Most all cars, ethanol is fine. But what's best for your motorcycle? The engine's kind of in between a car engine and a lawnmower engine. So I think manufacturers' specs do trump whatever you want to do. They recommend probably the bare minimum amount of gas. I've been running 93 octane ethanol gas in my motorcycle ever since I got it a year ago. Well, a little less than a year ago. But what I found out, ethanol, as most of you know, is made out of corn. And that ethanol is definitely not ideal for small engines. Most gas stations in the United States have ethanol gas. Not all of them have non-ethanol gas, which is just plain gasoline. And most ethanol gas in gas stations is at most 10% ethanol. But you know, how do you know it's truly 10% and not 15 and all that? Anyway, it's supposed to be that way. But is it all the same? It's probably not exactly the same. There's a little bit of difference between one gas station's gas and another. What I found out is most ethanol gas and non-ethanol gas starts to deteriorate or break down at about 30 days to 60 days. So if your motorcycle is going to set and you're not going to use it for 30 or 60 days, you really need to do something to that gas so it doesn't break down. Also, another thing I found out is that if you don't have a lot of gas in your gas tank and you have a lot of air in there, well, that air is going to have moisture in it, and that moisture is going to condense on the inside of your gas tank. So you're going to get a little water in your gas if you run a low tank a lot of times. So it's really best to have a full tank of gas whenever you can fill it up. Non-ethanol and ethanol gas lasts about 6 months. 3 to 6 months. Once that gas gets 3 to 6 months old, it's considered old gas in your gas tank. So you want to burn it through or you want to put some sort of stabilizer in your gas tank. And stabilizer, that's going to be another video. I'm not going to get into that too much. I haven't studied a lot of that. I'm just burning gas all the time, so I don't have to worry about stabilizer. Also, I don't live in a very cold place, so my motorcycle doesn't sit very long. I'll definitely ride it more than once a month all year long. So I wanted to list for you guys the bad qualities of ethanol gas. And I've read this. One of the bad qualities of ethanol gas, it does not give you as good a gas mileage. Isn't that amazing? It's like 2 to 5 miles per gallon difference between regular gasoline and ethanol gasoline. And I've seen that in a few places online. And that's an interesting fact. I haven't tested that, but quite a few people do say this. Ethanol has been known to cause problems with rings and seals and valves, especially when it gets a little bit older. It gets a little gummy, gets a little brown, and starts causing some problems with that if it gets older. But it does absorb water. Ethanol absorbs water, and it will help pull the water out of your gas tank if you fill it up and burn through it. Ethanol gas, when it gets old, it can get a little bit clumpy. And if it gets clumpy, it can cause problems. It can clump up your fuel lines a bit. It can clump up in your fuel filter. It also, when mixing with water from condensation in your gas tank, it will separate from the fuel, and the ethanol will settle down at the bottom of your tank with the water, and your fuel will be on top. So when you put new fuel in, you could end up having more water and ethanol at the bottom of your tank, and it could cause problems if you don't burn through it. But if you just let it sit and you're just running a little bit of gas every month, you're going to probably have a fuel separation issue in your tank. I have read where BMW motorcycles, they don't want you to put more than 5% ethanol in their tanks. They've had some problems with ethanol on the S1000s with their valves. Now for the good qualities of ethanol gas. The ethanol in the gas does absorb water and holds water within the ethanol. If you have a little bit of water in your tank and you fill your tank up full of ethanol gas, you can burn that full tank of gas out, and it'll help purge that water out of your fuel system. Ethanol gas is supposed to be better for the environment. Somehow it's better, I'm not sure, but it's supposed to be better for the environment. And a lot of times you can get ethanol gas cheaper at the pump. So you might save a little money buying the gas, but then again, on the flip side, it doesn't get as good gas mileage as non-ethanol gas. So maybe you'll have to test that yourself on your motorcycle if you're trying to get the maximum number of miles out of a tank. Try a full tank of ethanol and then try a full tank of non-ethanol gas. Do very similar driving for both and see what kind of results you get. You might be surprised. But that is about it for the good qualities of ethanol gas. So what do? All right, this is the gas I use now. octane non-ethanol, ethanol free gas. It's $4.19 a gallon. Keeping the tank full. All right, let's roll. I am using non-ethanol gas now. I am using straight gasoline. I just feel, I don't know how long in between rides I have. Like recently I went on a 10-day trip and my motorcycle sat, and then when I got back there was so much going on, it ended up being about 18 days before I could ride. So luckily I had a full tank of gas too, which is a plus. I think if you're traveling and you know you're going to be burning through a tank of gas, it's probably really good to put ethanol gas in your tank and burn through it. If you want to just kind of clean out your fuel system, it's kind of like putting in a bottle of fuel injector cleaner. But most of all, I'm going to be using non-ethanol gas from here on out. I know it's more stable, it runs better in small engines. It runs really good in big engines. I think there's a lot of political push behind running ethanol gas. Something to do with politics, the farmers, corn, and making that ethanol from corn. Well, hopefully this new little camera I have, it's an Insta360, looks cool. I'm going to be playing with it and trying a few different camera angles, see how they turn out, and give you a better look on my videos. Well, let me know what kind of gas that you like to use and why you like to use it. Be interested in hearing your comments down below. And hope you like this video. Please like and subscribe. Remember, it's not about the destination, it's about the ride, baby. Woo! Yeah!